Hello there, Des here again from GMIT Letterfrack with another of our SolidWorks tutorials. Now before we start, if you'd like more information on the degree programs we offer in furniture design, wood technology or teacher education, then please see our Facebook or Twitter pages. So in this video we're going to give a good overview of the introductory features of SolidWorks. So we're going to draw this coffee mug, and in doing so we'll practice some sketching and some simple features such as extruded boss bases, extruded cuts, a slightly more advanced feature called a swept boss base, and we're also going to add some fillets as well as some material appearances and a decal or a sticker or a logo. So let's begin. Now moving over to SolidWorks, we're going to begin with a sketch, and we'll select a circle and then we'll select the top plane on which to draw. So I'll snap the first point onto the origin and draw a circle and use the Smart Dimension tool to set that to be diameter 80 millimeters. So this blue icon will close the sketch. We've now created our first sketch. Once we have a sketch, we can do something to it, and that something usually takes the form of a feature. So let's get up here and activate the Features tab, and we want the Extruded Boss Base feature, which will pull a 2D profile into a 3D solid. I can drag the arrow here in the graphics window, or what I want to do in this case is for precision, I'm going to type in a value of 100 and press the green tick to approve that feature. So what I want to do now is click front plane or right plane. I'll use front plane, and you can see that perfectly bisects the cylinder. So with the front plane selected, hit spacebar and hit this normal to. That'll bring me to a view in which I can look 90 degrees to that plane. So I'm going to start another sketch, so click sketch and click a line. Because I already had the front plane selected, it has started this new sketch on the front plane. So I'm going to start the first line somewhere here. Make sure I see that little white icon appearing, showing that it's directly above, vertically aligned with the red origin. So click and then go across horizontally and click again. I want an arc, a 3-point arc here, and I could now close the line command and open the 3-point arc command. But a shortcut to achieve the same thing is, rather than clicking this line, hover back over the point, wait a moment, and then move the mouse away in the shape of an arc. Now sometimes if you're a little off, you may get an arc in the wrong quadrant or going in the wrong direction. So if it happens to go the wrong direction, just hover back over the point and try again. And make sure you get that dotted line showing that it's going to snap onto vertical alignment and give you a true semicircle. So click and draw this line back to the center. So let's add a smart dimension from this point to that point, and let's just say that's going to be 30, and between this point and that point will be 40. In fact, that's a bit small. Let's make that 50. So to edit the dimension, I just double clicked it and changed the value. Let's tell this line also to be 50, and now I want the sketch to be fully defined, and I actually don't know why it's not fully defined yet. So the test is, if I pick a point that's blue and drag it, how it moves shows me the freedom it has, and the freedom this point has is simply that it's not actually locked into vertical alignment with the origin. So to fix that, let's hold Control, select the origin, and select this point. And over here I will add a vertical constraint. Let's do the same thing with this point. Hold Control, select this point and that point. Another vertical constraint. So a number of things happen. The geometry itself turns black, and also down in the bottom it says fully defined. So let's close that sketch and rotate it just to see what it looks like. So to generate a feature called a sweep feature will take a profile, a shape, and sweep it along this path and generate a solid. To do that, I'm going to need to draw, in this case, on the right plane. By drawing on the right plane, I can actually neatly draw where this line and this point begin. So I'll hit the space bar, normal to. If it's a little difficult to see, you can always change the view style or the display style to shaded with hidden edges for a moment. and I'm going to draw an ellipse. Start the ellipse at the center, move out to the right. I always draw the ellipse on purpose at a slight angle. So 3 clicks to draw the ellipse. The first click positions the center, the next click positions one of the extremities, and the third and final click draws the final extremity. So let's just delete that one, that was practice. The reason I draw it at an angle is the ellipse doesn't actually lock on to vertical or horizontal alignment when you draw it. I draw it aligned because now it forces me to hold control, pick that point to the left, that point to the right, and hit horizontal. It reminds me to set it to being horizontal. So to smart dimension that, I need to pick the 2 points, and let's tell that to be maybe 15. And let's tell the overall height to be about 6 mm. And close the sketch. It's important that both of those are 2 separate sketches. One sketch is this path, the other sketch is the closed loop, the profile. Let's turn back on this shaded view, and let's go to Features, Swept Boss Base. Whatever's highlighted in blue here is what the computer needs, so if I hover over it, it says Profile. I will then get in and select that ellipse, the profile. Now the blue path selection window has become highlighted, so let's select the path, and it should make the solid for us. So I see that's a little bit skimpy. I should have actually made that thicker. So to edit this, I want to edit the loft, or the sweep I should say. The sweep has a little arrow beside it. When you expand that, you can see both sketches, and at any time you can edit either of those. I want to edit the ellipse, so let's right click it and select Edit Sketch. I simply want to double click the 15 and make that 20, and click the 6 or double click it depending on your computer and hit 8. Whenever you've made the change there, press the close sketch icon, and now you can see the feature will be updated. So to finish this off, let's put a fillet of approximately 2 mm at the joint between the handle and the mug there and there. Let's add another fillet of say 10 mm to the base of the cup. Looks a little big, so I'll just change that to 8 mm. That's better. And there's a number of different ways of hollowing out this cup. We could use the shell feature, but in this case I'm going to hit Sketch, Circle, and click the top surface. I'm going to draw another circle on that top surface. Smart Dimension, and tell that to be a value of 70. And Features, Extruded Cut, and tell that to cut down a value of 94. Green tick. There you have it. So we'll also add a fillet on the inside. Let's leave that also at 8 mm. But at the top of the mouthpiece, let's add a full round fillet. So to do that, still call up the fillet command, but activate the 4th type of fillet, a full round fillet. And there are 3 boxes you must populate with information. The first one represents the outer face, so click the outer face. Then you must activate the middle box and then select this top middle face. Then activate the bottom box and select the inside of the cup. Press the green tick, and there you have a full round fillet. Now finally, to add some material appearances and a decal, by turning on this Appearances, Scenes and Decals tab, let's press the push pin to make sure it stays there. It's worth experimenting with the appearances. Sometimes you could actually find that a different material looks more like the material you're after. So in this case, to generate the appearance of bone china, I actually applied a high gloss plastic. So select Appearances, Plastic, High Gloss Plastic, and I use this cream high gloss plastic. So click and hold and drag it and drop it onto the cup, and then move this across until you see part 5 in my case, but part. And now we've applied a material appearance of cream high gloss plastic to this cup. Now the last thing I want to do is add this logo or a decal, and I want to show you an interesting way of doing that. So here I am in PowerPoint, and I'm going to go Insert Pictures and bring in an image that I've downloaded from the internet. So what I want to do is clip out the white background. So to do that, I'll double click the image and hit Color, then Set Transparent Color. If I now pick any of the white area of the image, it will remove the white area, leaving a clear, transparent background of the image. So to save this for use later, I will right click it, Save as Picture, and I will save it as not a JPEG but a PNG file. A PNG file will hold the clear background. Now back in SolidWorks, there's a number of different ways to add the decal. The way I prefer is to go to Render Tools, then Edit Decal. If you do not have Render Tools, go to Tools, and down at the very bottom, Add-ins, and you can tick the box beside Photo View 360. That should bring up the Render Tools tab. Then you can go to Edit Decal, browse for the image you're after, then click the face you want to put it onto. In my case, the curved portion of the coffee cup. So you've got some edits you can make here. If you drag the corner, you can make the image bigger or smaller. If you rotate this orange or blue band, you can rotate the image and its alignment. Or if you want to move it, simply click anywhere within this frame. I know the background is black there, but if you press this, use Decal Image Alpha Channel, it becomes clear. So depending on the image you have, the quality of it, the size of it, you get a much better or worse decal. So I'm not 100% happy with that as well, because you see it's tending to wrap around the surface of the cup a little too much, not that realistic. So what you can do is get over here to Mapping and change the mapping from cylindrical to projection. And in that case, you just get a different type of application. It just doesn't bend or rotate around the cup as much. And there's all sorts of different options you can change in here, but for now I'm happy with that. So position it where I want it, press the green tick, and let's apply the final render and see what happens. So here we are after about 5 or 10 minutes or so. The cup itself has been fully rendered. As you can see here, it looks pretty much like the bone china or the delf that you'd expect the cup to be made out of, but it's actually plastic, high gloss cream plastic. So it's worth experimenting around with the different materials available inside the software. So thanks for watching. If you found that useful, then check out the rest of our videos on our GMIT Letterfrack YouTube channel.